What if I told you one of the biggest fights in boxing wasn't just disappointing, but possibly scripted? And what if the craziest part isn't that it was staged, but that Anthony Joshua might have gone off script? Today, we're breaking down Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, why so many fans believe the fight was fake, and the moment where everything seemed to go wrong. This isn't a claim. This isn't an accusation. This is a theory, backed by footage, patterns, and some very strange details that nobody seems to be talking about. Let's get into it. First, we need to ask the obvious question. Why did this fight even happen? Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer, has built an entire career on spectacle. Big names, big headlines, big paydays. Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, is a former unified heavyweight champion, an Olympic gold medalist, a fighter who once represented the very top of boxing. On paper, this matchup makes no sense. But on a business level, it makes perfect sense. Massive pay-per-view numbers, a global audience, and a storyline so ridiculous that people would watch just to see what happens, and that's where the first red flag appears. Jake Paul's fights have always followed a familiar pattern. The opponent is dangerous, but not too dangerous. The build-up is intense, but controlled, and the outcome always protects Jake's brand. Look at the past fights. Slower starts, limited exchanges, fighters freezing at key moments. This doesn't prove anything by itself. But when patterns repeat, people start asking questions. And against Anthony Joshua, those patterns became impossible to ignore. Let's talk about Anthony Joshua's body language. From the opening bell, something felt off. Joshua wasn't pressing. He wasn't cutting the ring. He wasn't throwing the combinations that made him a champion. Instead, he looked hesitant. Almost like he was waiting for cues, waiting for moments. And boxing fans noticed immediately. This wasn't pressure fighter Joshua. This wasn't knockout artist Joshua. This looked like a man holding back. Now let's get into the moments that really raised eyebrows. Clean openings where Joshua could have thrown, but didn't. Exchanges where Jake Paul overcommits and Joshua doesn't capitalize. In real boxing, those are instinctive reactions. You don't think, you just fire. But Joshua pauses, repeatedly, and that leads to the biggest theory of all. Many fans believe this fight wasn't meant to be competitive. The theory goes like this. The fight was designed to look real, feel dangerous, but ultimately stay controlled. Enough tension to sell drama, not enough chaos to risk the outcome. And if that's true, then Anthony Joshua wasn't there to win. He was there to play a role, but then something changed. Around the middle rounds, something strange happens. Joshua's demeanor shifts. His punches start coming faster. His movement sharpens. His eyes look focused. There's a moment, blink, and you'll miss it, where he throws a combination that looks real. Too real. And Jake Paul suddenly looks uncomfortable. Not hurt, but surprised. Almost like something wasn't supposed to happen. This is the moment many people point to. Joshua steps in. Jake backs up, and for a split second, the illusion cracks. Joshua doesn't look like a participant anymore. He looks like a fighter. Then suddenly he pulls back again. The pressure stops, the tempo drops, and the fight returns to its original rhythm. Almost like someone remembered the plan. And then there's the ending. No wild exchanges, no desperate moments. No real sense of danger. Just a clean, controlled finish. For a fight that was supposed to be unpredictable, it ended exactly how it needed to. And that's why fans are divided. Was it discipline? Was it caution? Or was it choreography? To be clear, this is a theory. There's no proof. No confirmation. But boxing has a long history of strange fights, business decisions, and outcomes that serve the brand more than the sport. And when you mix entertainment with competition, the line gets blurry. So the real question isn't, was the fight fake? At what point does boxing stop being a sport and start being a show? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and subscribe and hit the notification bell for more fighting content.